Okay, guys, Halondrus, big dude Halondrus. This is actually a really unique fight. There's three phases. I'm not going to go through each individual phase because the same thing again and again. Okay, it just goes through a different arena and it does the exact same mechanics repeatedly. This is going to be a purely single target encounter. We're going to five, maybe even six heal it, depending on how stuff goes. We will last final phase. There's a lot of movement and a lot of personal responsibility. Think of this like Sludge Fist. A lot of the mechanics are very similar to Sludge Fist. The primary mechanic that is going to kill us is going to be the delta spread mechanic. Anytime I say delta spread, it's basically a giant point blank AoE around each player. You all 20 players have to spread apart from each other and not overlap. After the delta spread mechanic, there's going to be Stone Legion Generals SLG eruption on the ground. You have to get out of it. So again, you place your shit down. You get out of it. Okay, there's going to be these pylons that are going to be orbiting the boss room. The tank is going to pick up the boss and going to target the frontal beam at the pylon. Okay, he's going to stand right here. The beam is going to shoot out from the boss and it's going to make the pylons attackable. When that happens, everybody's going to zerg the pylon, then back on the boss, and then it repeats. It's going to be tanks up, no one cares. The tank is going to aim the beam towards the pylon. Same thing happens. The healers are going to be split in loosely into quadrants. I guess like group 1 northeast, group 2 northwest, stuff like that. You want to loosely be in your quadrant so the healers can keep you alive. Not the end of the world. It's mostly just to spread the raid out. The room is very large. Okay, there's going to be these orbs which are going to sort of slowly make their way towards the center of towards the boss. If these orbs get to the boss, it's a raid wipe. Even a single orb gets to the boss, it's a raid wipe. So the ranged players, you're going to make sure you pick up, intercept these orbs. These orbs do a ton of damage when you initially touch them, and there's a splash damage, like a 3.5 radius. So make sure you aren't next to each other. The spreading is going to be huge on this fight. If you have an immunity, hunters, for example, OP classes, you can soak a few of them. Just make sure the splash damage doesn't kill somebody else. Sabel and Mord, you're kind of going to be like the last line of defense. When the orbs are happening, you're going to stay right with the boss, and you're going to make sure none of the orbs that make it past the range actually get to the boss. All the other melee, I want you to disengage and help with the orb soaking. Okay, you don't need to go all the way too far out, but kind of like mid range. The ranged classes can handle max range. All other melee will handle mid-range along with the off-tank. That's really it. That's the fight. This just repeats. In phase 2, more pylons. Phase 3, more pylons. In phase 3, the tanks, you're going to make or break this fight because you have to actually aim the beam towards a very specific pylon. One of the pylons is going to have a cast bar. That pylon has to die before the cast complete. If it does not, you raid wipe. There's a lot of personal responsibility, especially when the boss is moving from one arena to the next. He's going to go to the edge of the room right here, and then he's going to go through this and move on to the next arena. As he's moving, there's going to be delta spreads, knockbacks, there's going to be SLG eruption circles, all kinds of stuff. We're going to be assigning healing DR cooldowns during the movement, especially when the delta spread is happening, because it hits like a truck. It's a lot of damage. There's going to be knockbacks. The knockback is primarily there to make sure that you don't get knocked back into an eruption circle. So when there's a knockback happening, for example, Vindika here, he's going to look behind him, make sure there's no eruption circle behind him, and if there is, he's going to move sidestep left like a really good player, which he is. Other than that, that's really it. Last final phase, kill boss. It just repeats itself. You're going to go phase 1, the movement, which is phase 2, I guess you can call it, when the boss walks away. Again, phase 1 repeats. The boss is going to walk away again. That's phase 2. Phase 3, phase 1 repeats, and the boss dies. Then the end range is not really a factor, which is why we have 5 to 6 healers on this fight. That's really it. So to recap, tank points it at the pylon. Everybody kills the pylon. Healers keep everybody alive. Don't let the orb get to the boss. Dodge eruption circles. A lot of personal responsibility. Spread, the delta spread. Get loot.